是那份。
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada,
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Milwaukee Mile. It's going to be 50 laps of action here with Racing for a Cause, a West Coast edition. I am going to be your host tonight, Chris, and with me, as always, birthday boy himself, Rick Hammond Jr. Rick, how are you today, bud?
Well, I won't lie, man. It's Wednesday, and thank you. Yes, it is my birthday, and I must be getting old because I took a nap, and the wife just woke me up and she's like, "Don't you have a broadcast to do tonight?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm." She's like, "Well, it's 9 o'clock. You might want to get down there." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good."
Oh, yeah. So here's what you missed. We're starting a little bit late tonight. A little bit of an issue with the server coming up on time, but that's going to give us a little bit of a chance to do something cool. And also, we need to talk to our race sponsor tonight, which is going to be Doug Wasaki. But first, I mentioned it's Rick's birthday, and so I'd be remiss if I didn't get this out of the way nice and early here tonight.
It's your birthday today, Rick. It's your birthday today, Rick. Rock and roll and celebrate. We lose control and you cut the cake. The night is your destiny. Wait so share toast with your closest mates. It's your birthday today, Rick. It's your birthday today, Rick. Grab your goodie bags. Open your gifts. Blow out your candles. Rick!
Okay, so I had to do it, Rick.
Oh man,
Happy birthday, brother.
thanks, brother.
Linda, how are you tonight, hon? Good to see you out there in chat. We are at Milwaukee, getting ready again for 50 laps of action here on the Racing for a Cause circuit. It's the West Coast edition, and these guys just out there, right now they're actually in the driver's meeting. As soon as that's done, we want to get Doug Wasaki, tonight's sponsor, up here in the booth with us, and we'll talk about why he decided to go ahead and sponsor tonight's race, the cause that he's trying to get out there. I already know which one it is. Doug, great guy, good friend. And man, what a good race this is going to be. I've been watching some of the practice. The track is warm, but these cars seem to be handling the track pretty darn well here tonight. And it looks like they're kicking back out on track. So let's see if we can get a word in with tonight's sponsor. Driver of the number 45, Doug Wasaki. This is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, guys, how you doing?
Oh, bud, I'm doing okay. Wanted to go ahead and get you up here. I understand tonight is your night. You're the one putting on tonight's event, sponsoring it, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about the cause that's causing you to do that.
It's an exercise program called The Climb for Parkinson's patients. Bottom line is keep people moving, man. That Parkinson's kind of can debilitate you. So that's a good program to keep you moving.
That's it, man. And you've had that on your car for a very long time at this point. What's it been? A few seasons anyways, I believe.
As long as I can remember, yeah.
Yeah, my mom's got Parkinson's, so I just can't do that and to help her out and bring awareness to it.
Yep, absolutely. Doug, how's the car feeling out there for you so far tonight, bud?
I'll be honest with you, man. I have no idea. This place is rough. You just can't overdrive it for sure. I definitely need more time here, but we're going to give it a go, see what happens.
Yeah. All right, bud. Well, listen, I'm going to get you back out on track, get you some more practice in. You don't have a ton more time, about 5 more minutes to go.
I'm good, I'll talk to you for a minute. Hey, Rick, happy birthday, by the way. Appreciate you guys broadcasting. You guys do an excellent job, man.
Hey, thanks, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. And that is the 45, Doug Wasaki, getting ready to pull on out on the track. He is got to figure it out still a little bit, it seems, but I don't know that he's going to be the only one here tonight. That track temperature record 118 degrees here tonight. Man, she is warm, and that is going to cause cars to do exactly what we just saw out of the 35 machine, Matthew Spinks. Get rid of that. Matthew Spinks getting really loose off from that turn 2. Let's see how he handles it here next time by. Turn 4 was clean. Just want to keep an eye on these cars and see how they're getting around this track and see if it differs at all as the race kind of continues on. Yeah, a little tight there. So, interesting.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting because you would think that 118 degrees, I mean, it's already slick out there. I mean, I've seen cars slipping and sliding, and that's going to be a huge thing tonight. And one thing to remember, Chris, is these guys don't have tires, so they're going out there, they're beating and banging. They got to make these tires last for 50 laps here tonight.
And that's going to be a challenge all into itself. The other thing that I was told before we even got going here, if we have 30 drivers on the server tonight, we're going to have, oh my heart, 30 drivers in the main feature.
And that's going to be huge.
That is a huge field. Milwaukee, a bigger track. It's 1 mile, so there's room there. But man, that's a lot of cars out on track.
And I was thinking, and you and I talked about it, doing like a little in-car broadcast, but I realized after I took a nap that my wheel and everything's not even set up because I changed my room around there a few months ago, and I never get to race, so that was kind of a bummer. I was like, oh man. These guys are gonna have fun out here tonight.
Yeah, of course they are. And I can't wait to watch the fun. Of course, last night, KR returning to the booth for Racing for a Cause, and they saw a first-time winner last night, so congratulations. It's pretty cool. I love seeing first-time winners. I do. Did it on Fuel Strategy last night. Most
and that's kind of the cool thing, too. I mean, there's so much talent in Racing for a Cause that, we've learned that there are a good handful of drivers that we expect to see up towards the front week in, week out. But when you have somebody who comes in, first-time winner, I mean, that's pretty exciting. And it's exciting for them, too, especially if it's their first, win with the league.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, congratulations going out to Aaron Tolhurst, the driver we're talking about.
And you know what? Since it's my birthday, Aaron, this one's for you, buddy.
Oh.
Congratulations. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Most excellent. So far here in practice, this man, Matthew Spinks, has found the quick way around the track, a 29.919. I'll fill you in on how close this thing is. Chris Stump behind him, a 29.946. 3/100ths of a second off. Let's go ahead and take a look. Speaking of close, at the point standings, AJ Hamill on top, but Chris Stump just minus 1 point. Unbelievable. Brian Hacker, 4 points off the leader. Rex Hoyle, 8 points. Andy Lambert, 16 points. Any one of those drivers can still catch the race leader the points leader, if something happens to AJ or even Chris Stump. Al Smith Jr. sitting in 6th spot, James Sumke, Justin Rigsby, Andrew Hill, and Matthew Spinks rounding out the top 10 on the West Coast side. 11th through 20th, you got Mike Holtzclaw, Hilton Young, Roger Holtzclaw, James McIntyre Jr., Jeffrey Stiles, Matt Vadi, Dylan Blankenship. There's the race sponsor tonight, Doug Wasaki sitting in 18th position, Ricky Harden in 19th, and Enrique Torres sitting in 20th position. So points, yeah, they're close.
Points are really close, but I love how Andy's doing it this year. This season, splitting it up between the West and the East. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I really kind of dig that format. It's I can honestly say it's nothing I ever thought of, but seems to be working for these guys. And I believe tonight, just this was this the second to the last race? I believe it is for the West Coast.
Yeah, I believe. Milwaukee this week, and then next week I think we crown the champion, man, at Irwindale. Then we head over to USA on the 6th, I do believe. So that's going to start the East Coast stuff, man. I mean, this season already flying. I mean, we got USA, Lanier, New Smyrna, South Boston. That's going to be fun. And the season finale at 5 Flags, man.
5 Flags.
Gotta love 5 Flags.
Not 4, not 6, but 5 Flags.
You know, I think that night we're going to have to do 5 guys at work.
Oh, hey, that's a good idea.
5 Flags.
Yeah.
Chocolate peanut butter shake. You can just put that on the menu.
Yeah.
That's all I want, man. I don't need nothing else. At least some leftover bag fries. Oh, man, that's not good.
I've created a monster.
How late are they open till? Do I have time?
No, man.
No. We got some heat racing coming up, man. I'm excited about that. I love the heat racing. Right now we're sitting at 28 drivers, so we might not have the last chance qualifying B main.
Oh, that was cool last week too.
It was.
You know, when you have that many drivers, that was just wicked. I loved watching that.
And again, I know we say it every broadcast, but Chris and I, along with Andy, we started racing for a cause. In our first race, we had 9 cars in the late models on a Wednesday night. 9. And then, now tonight we have 28. Last week we had over 30.
Yeah, that was something else.
That is a good problem to have, let me tell you.
To be able to pull that many cars, and they're doing it week after week, that tells you just where the interest level lies. Here on Wednesday night, racing for a cause, it's out there still. The interest,
the interest is there. It shows the strength and happiness of the league. Very proud of Andy and Troy and Rick Greenaway. After we kind of hung up our hats there a little bit, switched gears.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hang up my hat every night, but I don't know about you, but
I sleep with my hat on, man. I got a favorite hat, and I never take it off. By the way, Dad's kind of upset. I saw him tonight, and he tried to steal my hat.
Oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think we're going to have to place another order anyway.
He wants the red one.
Oh, red. Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Hey, we want to go ahead and thank everybody who's come out so far to watch Racing for a Cause. These guys are running just a little bit behind. We were supposed to be going to the heat racing, but hey, maybe he's going to go for another minute and a half or so. We'll see. As the racetrack took a little while longer to prep tonight than we were thinking.
We're stumping that beautiful 98. Got the Coca-Cola on the back. He's been doing a really good job. He's sitting there in second right now in the speed charts. Morning practice. Fastest slap of 29.946. Still on the top, man. And I'm excited about this. That 35 machine. Still under the pink banner. I love it. I do miss the red and yellow, but white and pink look outstanding. Breast cancer awareness. Month of October. He's got that fast lap right now, 29.919. That is just amazing.
Yeah, Spinks really is turning it on. And it's not going to be much longer, I don't think, before we call him as a winner here in Racing for a Cause series this season. Race sponsor, Doug Wasaki, gonna hop on out for a little bit. Try and dial it in just a little bit more. Beautiful car, beautiful paint, and beautiful tribute. So,
Oh, it is awesome. Week in and week out, Chris. I mean, we broadcast a couple of leagues that Mr. Wysocki's in, and he's always supporting that cause no matter where he goes, not just here at Racing for a Cause, and that's pretty cool.
and not to mention, the guy is he's just a nice guy.
An outstanding guy.
Yeah. Love talking to Doug. Love racing with Doug. It's a lot of fun. Miss that. Man, do we have a bunch of drivers out there. This is awesome. So again, if you're out in chat and you haven't heard yet, maybe you're joining late and you haven't heard. Hey, it's Rick's birthday. Happy birthday again, brother. I'm going to be on that all night, just so you know.
You've been on it all day, all night.
11:59. I'm going to shoot you one last message.
Hopefully we're sleeping by then.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping. I'm not going to lie. I'll be out.
I've been fighting this head cold, and today is one of the worst days, so hopefully it's just all uphill from here, but I do appreciate it. And of course, over on the Racing for a Cause page, Troy threw it up. I appreciate that, Troy. And all the members that wished me a happy birthday on my special day. I do appreciate it. Linda, you too. Sent me a message. That was very kind of you.
The family type atmosphere continues to be at the heart of Racing for a Cause, and that's
one person that I see. Where's KD? Where's KD tonight? That poor kid probably took a break. He's been winning like crazy. I follow him on his KD Racing page, and it's just amazing on what he is doing out there. Very happy, very proud to know him.
You're right.
Hopefully he's having a sun drop for me on my birthday.
I don't see him in the server. Very interesting.
Like I said, he probably needed a night off, man. He has been just tearing it up out in the track everywhere he goes.
It's just good to see the growth, and again, that family atmosphere that continues. I love it, man.
You talk about the growth, Chris, as we're sitting here, and the thing that impresses me is season after season. Now, we do have some new drivers out there. Got guys like Somke, got Roger Holzclaw, Aaron Tyner, Robert. But you look through all these names, man, and these are all names that we know. And it's season after season, and it's amazing to see.
Yeah, kind of says something special about the league and as a whole, and man, I like it. I like seeing it out there. It's pretty cool. So I don't know. I guess Andy decided that he was going to go ahead and let practice run out, because here we are with 6:18 left, still under practice. I think, Rick, we're going to take ourselves a timeout and get ready for the heat racing tonight, which should be very, very entertaining. Guys, we're going to take a step away, and we'll be right back.
destiny awaits. Oh, wait.
Well, it looks like we may have gotten caught off on the birthday song, Rick, because we are starting to grid row the first heat race of the evening. The official pace car of the night looks like the Porsche once again.
Thank you, Andy.
Heat race drivers involved in number 1. It's going to be the 96 of Al Smith Jr., the 9 of Jamie Christensen. Inside row 2, going to be James Somke, and on his outside, Ryan Nolan, Matt Vade. Starting in 5th spot, Doug Wasaki 6th, Cade Green, and AJ Hamill making up row number 4. Alex Papini and Chris Stump. New name there, Alex.
Yeah, welcome to Racing for a Cause, man.
Very cool. Well, let's get it on, Rick. This is what it's all about. Love that short track heat racing action. And these guys definitely, man, last week it was battle after battle. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Just fabulous. And I think we're going to see that again tonight.
Porsche pace car lights are off, and it's going to jump down onto pit road. Al Smith Jr. starting on the pole here for heat race number 1 of the evening. Hard left-hand turn out of the Porsche, and we're getting ready to go. Loud pedals are all hit, and we are under green for the first time tonight for 10 laps of heat racing. Al Smith with a good start to this one. Ryan Nolan trying to take over second spot, and he does. Jamie Christensen left to the outside. The 1 of James Somke in 4th spot. And here comes Matt Vade in 5th position down to the inside, looking to try and take it away. Doug Wasaki right there. Wasaki in the 45, taking a relatively unusual line there, but it seemed to have worked for him. Oh, the 39 going around. That's Alex Papini. And that's maybe bringing out the caution, although it hasn't yet. And Papini able to get off track just in time. So we're going to stay green flag racing. Up front, it's Al Smith Jr., and he's being chased down by Ryan Nolan. Nolan is sitting in 2nd spot right now, and his number 87, Jamie Christensen, still holding on to 3rd. Matt Vade has worked his way up into 4th position with Wasaki in 5th. Speaking of working their way up, it's Chris Stump. He started towards the rear of the field, and the 98 machine currently in 6th spot. Now looking to the inside of Doug Wasaki. So far, so good here with this track, looking like it can handle a couple of different lanes. James Christensen working backwards here. Jamie, oh, the 96 into the wall, and it looks like he's stuck. Yellow flag out. Al Smith going into the wall. Let's go back and take a peek. Oh, Al Smith, Ryan Nolan right behind. Oh, 96 just gets loose, and the 87 didn't have enough time to react. 96 of Al Smith Jr. stuck on the wall.
I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight here, Chris. I mean, during heat race number 1, that track temperature is still 118 degrees. So very, very warm and slick out there. I mean, the air temperature is only 71.
Good number.
It is a good number. That is your number.
Love that number. Number 71, driven in Vermont when I was growing up by a gentleman named Bobby Dragon. He had a brother. His name was Harmon Dragon, went by Beaver. Both of those gentlemen still alive. Still a very huge part of the racing community up here in Vermont. The family legacy continues on with Bobby's son Scott. Great family.
Great family. I mean, obviously we pull for Scott there. Great guy. I've actually had him on here in my house, in my basement, on my old racing simulator that I passed down to Andy Lambert. A little bit of history there. That's kind of cool.
He was showing us how to get around Oxford, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've never actually raced on iRacing, so we had a real local driver who has done multiple laps at Oxford, said that that was the closest thing that he has ever seen. That the only thing that was different was the feeling of the car moving underneath his butt while he was racing. It was that close. So iRacing, does a really good job. Obviously, all their tracks and cars are scanned by lasers, so every little bump and crack, what you see here on the service, was there at the time that they actually scanned the track. So very good job with iRacing.
Yeah, that was a real treat to meet him in person. I've known his father for years, has met and spoke with his father many, many times. His father actually went to my grandfather's funeral. They had worked together.
I mean, as much as I enjoyed having a local superstar down in my basement on my simulator, the best part of that whole thing is when you brought the boy over.
Yeah.
And Scott is just amazing with his fans, man.
My son was awestruck.
I think we all were.
Yeah.
And I had Scott Dragon in my simulator.
You touched the wheel. I'm surprised you didn't just take that wheel down, put it up on the shelf, cover it in plastic.
Actually, it is behind me on my Drive to Stop Diabetes trunk lid from Ryan Reed's car. That is up there, man. I was gonna sell it, but I was like, you know what? No. And that's the thing. I can't get rid of my VR headset either because he used that too. His sweat is in that foam, bro. Someday.
Pace car getting ready to come down pit road. Ryan Nolan going to have control of the field. That hard left-hand turn. The Porsche somehow made it. And we go back under the green flag.
And Nolan Ryan wasted no time hitting that go button, man. He's taking off. Look right behind him. Chris Stump. Matt Vade battling it out right now for second position.
And Wasake sitting in fourth. AJ Hamill fifth right now. But we may have a battle for the lead before the end of heat number 1. 3 laps to go. Ryan Nolan, Chris Stump, Matt Vade. 3 very talented drivers here in the Racing for a Cause series. And 2 laps to go for Ryan Nolan. Chris Stump trying to chase him down. Rick and I broadcast another league, the NSA, on Monday nights. Chris Stump a part of that. Didn't have a great night. Looking to try and bounce back here on a Wednesday. Yeah, it'd be all right to kind of maybe come second in the heat, but he was peeking in for the lead there for a second. Just couldn't get it. Now slides the rear end out of 2. And we'd seen that during practice a couple of times from a few different drivers.
And that just shows the amount of professionalism and respect that Stump has for these guys. I mean, he could have bumped Nolan right out of the way.
Oh yeah,
but he got on the brake.
Heat number 1 is done.
Ryan Nolan takes the checkered flag in heat number 1. Chris Stump, Matt Vaude. So heat race number 2 is getting ready, Chris. We're going to have the 51 of Dylan Blankenship on the pole. Right next to him is going to be the 43 of Aaron Tyner. The 85 of Jeff Stiles going to be in 3rd. Andy Lambert in the 72 machine going to be starting 4th. The 99 Justin Rigsby out there going to be starting in 5th. Roger Holsclaw in the 23 going to be starting 6th. Vermont's own Andrew Hill in the 77. I like that number too. That's my number. Tom Tiller, baby. Going to be starting in 7th. Jimmy McIntyre Jr. in the 81 going to be starting 8th. And Troy Radford in the 94 going to be rounding out the field in 9th position.
Another stacked field here. very
Lots of big
talented
names.
drivers. And I guess, that's kind of true of every single heat race. I mean, it is. It's just true. Waiting for a couple of drivers to grid up. Andy Lambert has yet to grid. And it won't
Poor
be
guy's
long.
probably catching hell for scheduling a race on my birthday from his wife right now.
And the field rolls on without him. Andy Lambert missing the start of heat race number 2.
I mean, I know this is considered a short track, Chris, but really not one of the types that Andy likes to drive on. It is a big NASCAR track.
Well, it's a small NASCAR track, but it's
Well,
a
small,
big short
yeah.
track.
You know what I meant.
Yeah. I was just clarifying, making sure.
I'm really digging that number 43 paint scheme, man. Miller High Life.
Yeah,
That
I
is the
was
one
looking at
Miller
that.
beer that I will drink without complaining too much.
I guess
I
I
have an old
need you to
school.
say that again real quick.
Well, maybe Saturday I'll have some at the shop. I don't know, for the after hour stuff.
Pace car coming on down pit road, and that is going to allow Dylan Blankenship to take the green flag here for heat race number 2. And the 51 with a very good start to this heat race. He takes off. The 43 of Aaron Tyner trying to hold on. Jeffrey Stiles sitting in 3rd spot.
Fourth place going to belong to the 99 Justin Rigsby right now. Andrew Hill in the 77 in 5th. Troy Radford moving up into 6th position. Jimmy McIntyre Jr. 7th. Roger Holzclaw rounding up the field in 8th. Andy Lambert did not take the start.
Jeff Stiles on the inside, and the 99 of Rigsby trying to make a move to the outside. Couldn't make that one stick, but he's there. Boy, wouldn't it be interesting if you could pass on both lanes tonight? The 99 trying to see if it'll work. He might pay for that decision, though, as Andrew Hill comes down to the inside. Rigsby maybe setting up to lose a spot here to Andrew Hill. The 77, a slight contact there heading into the corner. A short racing rub. And Hill up to 4th spot. Up front, Aaron Tyner sitting in 2nd spot. But Dylan Blankenship, the man to talk about right now, he is pulling out a bit of a lead. 7/10 of a second so far with just 3 laps completed. Not even. 2.5 laps completed.
Yeah, pulling away in good style. That number 51 Wounded Warrior Project machine looking pretty good here tonight.
Justin Rigsby, who was passed by the 77, may be looking to return the favor. He takes an inside line in the 77, quick to block him down. So Hill trying to hold on to 3rd. Meanwhile, right behind Rigsby, it's the 94 of T-Roy Radford. Troy has got a little bit of a gap to try and catch Rigsby. Jeffrey Stiles 6, James McIntyre Jr. in 7th spot. Rounding out the field, Roger Holtzclaw checking in with your race leader once again. Almost a full second is the lead now between Blankenship and Tyner and the 43. Blankenship has this track figured out. Here comes the 99 of Rigsby working the inside of the 77. This is a battle for 3rd spot. And at the line, the 99 has that spot taken away from Andrew Hill in the 77.
And if I'm not mistaken, Rigsby is usually in a water.org car, but tonight he pulled out a beautiful paint scheme, an outstanding paint scheme. It's got the pink on there. Obviously, we know that pink is mainly known as breast cancer awareness, but this one's for the pregnancy infant loss awareness. So that's really cool. On the back there, Chris, he's supporting the support for Star Legacy Foundation, dedicated to stillbirth research and education. Good looking car out there.
Yep. Another great cause.
I mean, who we kidding? They're all great causes, you know, and that's one thing that, you know, I am so happy and proud to see. You know, obviously it all really started with you and I racing and me trying to learn how to paint. I guess you could call it that. And, you know, we put on the JDRF for you, for the boy, for dad. And I ran the MS Society for my uncle and my aunt who have MS. And it's just continued to grow. You know, the guys really, you know, we never made it like a hard rule that you had to have a cause in your car, but these guys just basically pulled together and they really, I mean, we picked up a lot of people just because of that. So that was really, really cool.
'99 of Rigsby looking on the final lap to try and maybe take over second from Tyner. Tyner is trying to hold on. He's got an attack from the top lane and the bottom lane.
Just getting it from both Rigsby and Andrew Hill.
Yeah, and in that time, the 94 is starting to catch in too. So this is going to be a tight finish here at the end as Blankenship has taken heat number 2. Oh, the 77 into the wall. Or was that Troy? I'm not sure. Yeah, I believe it was the 77 hard into the wall.
Heat number 2 winner, Dylan Blankenship. Now we head on over to race 3. Huge field out here tonight.
Well, this one promises to be pretty good too, Rick. On the pole in the number 35, it's going to be Matthew Spinks in the 22. Mike Holtzclaw to the outside. Zach Cold Beer Coyer going to be starting in third spot in his number 15. Justin McDuff to his outside in fourth. Mark Farvert in the 44 going to be starting in fifth. Hilton Young in the 38 and sixth. Brian Hacker going to be starting his 11 in 7th position. Travis Wright in 8th. And Rex Hoyle picking up shotgun position, 9th spot. So Matthew Spinks, who was the fastest driver during the practice session early on, picked himself up a pole here for heat race number 3. And again, there are some big time names in here, including last week's winner, Brian Hacker.
Yeah, exactly. And one cool thing, so, you know, unfortunately, Chris, it looks like Hilton Young decided to not run your name on the thing. He's got a new car, but he's still supporting the awareness for diabetes, and that is just outstanding.
He probably figured that having my name on there wasn't very good. I mean, good luck. As we go under the green, Matthew Spinks looking to try and hold on to the lead for this one. And he does a really nice start to this heat race. A battle already starting to brew for third spot, as Mike Holtzclaw and Justin McDuff are starting to battle it out. McDuff to the inside. Around through turns 3 and 4. Looks like McDuff is going to take it away from Holtzclaw. Brian Hacker up to 5th spot. Rex Hoyle, Hilton Young, and Travis Wright and Mark Farvert.
Well, we knew from practice that Spinks has this thing figured out. I know Brad's out there watching. He just hasn't said anything yet in chat, but he's out there cheering on his boy. And look at Matt. I mean, Matt is just pulling away right now. I mean, he's got Milwaukee dialed in tonight.
Yeah, so 2 laps completed. A 1 second lead almost for Spinks. Justin McDuff in 2nd spot. Don't count that 20 out though. Very, very fast week in and week out. The Arts Barbershop, number 20. Zach Coyer holding on to 3rd spot. Hacker has moved up to 4th. in his number 11. Rex Hoyle up to 5th. Mike Holtzclaw, Travis Wright, Hilton Young, and Mark Farvert rounding out the field. Love the sights and sounds of these cars. Ryan Nolan out in chat, checking out the rest of the competition.
Hey, thanks, Ryan, buddy. Good luck out there tonight.
Ooh, a little bobble from Coyer, and that might allow Hacker to take spot. 15, a little bit of a bobble coming out of 4. Now trying to fight back through 1 and 2. Brian Hacker not giving it up and holds on the outside to keep that position. So Hacker has moved up to 3rd. That sends Coyer back in the 4th spot. Rex Hoyle in 5th spot. And you got that battle for 6th between Mike Holtzclaw and Travis Wright. Looks like Mike Holtzclaw going to pull away with a slight advantage there. And McDuff starting to reel in the 35 of Matt Spinks. Wow. Gonna try and change his name before the end of the night. These short heat races allow you to really get on the tires and beat them up pretty bad. And you know,
well, that's the thing that I like about that.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to go 10 miles. That means you can wide open that thing pretty much all around the track. Of course, you do have to slow down for the corners, but you can be a little bit more aggressive coming out. And that might be a little bit of what we're seeing, you know, coming out of turn 2, coming out of turn 4. You're seeing a little bit of the wiggles. That just could be, you know, drivers knowing they have a very short distance to go for the heat racing and got to make all the time up that they can, make all the positions that they can for that really good start at the beginning of the main feature.
And what I love about the heat racing, Chris, is that these guys can go out there and practice. They can, you know, they're racing, but they're really trying to figure out their line. They're pushing the car to the limit. There's no consequence. You know, you're out there. We know that everybody can get a fresh car in case something bad happens. But then you get into a heat race, and it's kind of the same thing. But these guys are also racing for position for their starting grid. And so they're really pushing a little bit harder. I mean, obviously they're racing cleaner. You know, they're not intentionally going out there and, you know, taking anybody out. But that's one thing that I really find cool with the heat racing is that these guys, like you said, you know, they got 10 miles, 10 laps, do whatever they got to do. And they can really abuse the equipment a little bit to try to get that starting position. So the drivers have a chance to learn a little bit more than what they would in practice. And right now, Matthew Spinks, though, fast in practice, had the fastest lap. He's out here, he's doing the thing. Fastest lap so far this heat was put on by Brian Hacker on lap 7 of 30.042. The checkered flag comes out for Matt Spinks. Gonna be heat number 3 winner.
So Spinks, McDuff, and Hacker, your top 3 out of heat number 3.
Get Coyer, Hoyle, Wright, Holtzclaw, Forever, and Young bringing out the field. Now these guys got about 5 minutes to warm up. It's going to be a good race.
Up. I'm feeling
me
really
too,
warmed
man.
up. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Me too. I'm going to pay for this tomorrow, though.
Well, I kind of got interrupted the last time. We got 4.5 minutes.
No, you don't have to do it again.
I think I do.
You don't have to. No.
It's your birthday today. Rick! It's your birthday today. Rick! Rock and roll and celebrate. Celebrate, we lose control and you cut the cake. Cut that the night is your day. toast with your closest mates. It's your birthday today. Rick! It's your birthday today. Rick! Grab your goodie bags. Open your gifts. Blow out your candles. Rick!
There's a reason why I like being in charge of the buttons. As we've got about 3 minutes to go before we send all of these drivers on Milwaukee, the 1 mile track for 50 miles of action. Again, thank you to Doug Wasaki for sponsoring tonight's race. Be sure to check out www.parkinson.org. See the true meaning behind why Doug is sponsoring tonight's race.
It's just an amazing cause, man. I mean, I love racing for a cause. I don't, you know, kind of biased, I guess, maybe. Had a part in creating something that has become so successful. I mean, you and I, honestly speaking, if you think about it, you know, when we started it, we didn't imagine it being as popular. We were just looking for a place to race where we could have clean racing, get causes out in front of people. And, you know, at first it was just us swinging on a Wednesday night, having fun. And then we got Joe White over at OSR Network broadcast, and then you and I decided to start learning how to broadcast, so we did it. And it's just grown from there, man. It's just been amazing. Something that we definitely have to be proud about. I mean, there's a lot of leagues out there in iRacing. If if you're on the service and you go and you search for a league, you know what we're talking about. I mean, there's pages upon pages, and there's very few that actually that do something like what we do here, and it's just been continued on, and that's pretty cool.
I'm sitting here shaking my head like we're talking in person. Going,
I'm very proud of these guys. They're doing an outstanding job.
Oh yeah, we're watching some of the challenges here during this practice. Although track temperature is starting to fall a little bit, 107 degrees. Still warm and rather slick out there, it looks like.
It is, but these guys are used to being close to around 120, Chris. And I mean, that's a big jump going from 118 to 107. It doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people who might not understand, but you know, track temperature plays a big role in the way that the tires react. iRacing's done such a great job with the dynamic tire model that it really comes into play. I mean, we're seeing it here in the warm-up, man. Guys are bouncing around, flipping, having a good old time.
Some guys choosing to not even come out during practice. This last little bit of warm-up, but maybe they're ready for the night. We'll see.
Yeah, they're just, using that time to, loosen up the shoulders, maybe adjust their sim gear a little bit and get ready because the checkered flag is out.
Yeah, and we're going to get ready to grid them up. Pole sitter for tonight's event, the number 87, Vermont's own Ryan Nolan, to his outside, the 51, Dylan Blankenship. starting inside row number 2, it's going to be the number 35 of Matthew Spinks, and to his outside, Chris Stump in the number 98. Aaron Tyner going to start his 43 to the inside, grid row number 3 in 5th spot, and Justin McDuff going to be starting to his outside in 6th position. Matt Vade going to be starting in 7th spot, and Justin Rigsby starting in 8th in his 99. Brian Hacker going to be starting this one in 9th position to his outside. AJ Hamill, current points leader. Starting in 11th tonight, it's going to be Jeffrey Stiles with Zach Coldbeer Coyer starting in 12th spot. Doug Wasaki in 13th. Troy Radford going to be starting in 14th. And Rick starting 15th tonight. It's going to be Rex Hoyle with the number 9 of Jamie Christensen starting in 16th position.
And then starting in row number 8, it's going to be the 77 of Vermont's own again, Andrew Hill in 17th, Travis Wright in 18th. In 19th position, the 19 Cade Green. Next to him is the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre Jr. in 20th. We got Mike Holsclaw on the 22 starting 21st. James Somke in the 1 going to be starting 22nd. Grid row number 12, Roger Holsclaw in 23rd. Mark Pravert in the 44 going to be starting 24th. Al Smith Jr. qualified that 96th and 25th position. In 26th, right next to him, the 72 of Andy Lambert, Hilton Young, and then Alex Papini in 28th.
Andy Lambert not taking the start. Otherwise, all the other drivers have taken the start of this one. Scoring starts to settle itself out. We'll bring up the ticker. Ryan Nolan, your race leader. He's being followed by Dylan Blankenship and Matthew Spinks, and then Chris Stump, and then we start seeing some 2x2 action. Aaron Tyner to the inside of McDuff. McDuff to the outside, hits the wall, comes back down, almost gets into the 8. The 8 out of the way. So McDuff all of a sudden having a little trouble handling that number 20 early on in this event.
Yeah, he kind of slowed up there in front of the 11 of Hacker. Hacker just gives him a little bump, says, hey, man, move up to the outside so I can go. And that's exactly what Hacker's done. He's just broken into the top 5. Tyner right now getting passed by Matt Vade. Vade moves up into 6th position, now falls back down to 7th. These guys are definitely pouring on. AJ Hamill is kind of in that gaggle of cars, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, AJ Hamill right now in 8th spot.
McDuff falling down to, ooh, we got some cars going around. I think that's Coldbeer Coyer. Able to collect it up there. Coyer fell way down to 20th position right now. He's kind of racing it out right now with the 1.
And Mike Holsclaw and Coyer were the 2 drivers that all of a sudden started dropping down the list, but able to gather it up and continue on here tonight. Top 5 drivers kind of splitting away from the rest of the pack a little bit. Ryan Hacker in that 5th spot. Ahead of him, Chris Stump, Matthew Spinks, Dylan Blankenship, and Ryan Nolan leading this one. It looks like we have a battle going on for 2nd spot potentially. It's Matthew Spinks finding that inside line, and it looks like right now he's gotten ahead of Blankenship. And that could be bad news for the 51. Trapped to the outside, may lose some more here. He may have seen the writing on the wall and just let it happen so that he could tuck back in. Hacker able to get around and finish the passing cycle that was happening to Dylan Blankenship in the 51. Hacker up to 4th spot. Brian Hacker making some good early moves. Justin McDuff was started up a little closer to the front, finds himself in 9th spot, being chased down by the 94 of Troy Radford. Ahead of them, it's AJ Hamill going for position on the 43 of Aaron Tyner. AJ Hamill takes it over, now running in 7th spot. Troy Radford to the inside of the 20 of McDuff. So Troy looking to try and advance his position. McDuff having a heck of a time trying to get his number 20 going. Remember, during his heat race, he finished in second spot. He was actually chasing down the race leader. But the 20 not having as good a luck here during the feature.
I mean, it's all totally different there. I mean, that track temperature just fell down to 103 degrees, Chris. So a lot of things changing here. These guys, you know, now there's a lot more cars too out on the track. So
yeah, so not sure what happened with Andy Lambert. He's the only driver that didn't start and now not in server. So hopefully everything's okay over at the Lambert abode. Check in on the number 99. That's Justin Rigsby. Rigsby to the inside of the 85 Jeffrey Stiles. Rigsby trying to crack one position ahead, and he does, going into 1 and 2. Now sitting in 11th position. So Rigsby starting to move forward in his machine. Tonight's race sponsor, the 45. That's Doug Wasaki. Wasaki running 14th. So Wasaki has found a little bit of speed here in the feature race. During practice, he was about 19th fastest. Right now has the 77 of Andrew Hill behind him as they sail into turns 1 and 2. Jamie Christensen running a little high in his 9 car, and the 10 of Travis Wright making him pay. So Wright taking over a spot.
it's so hard to pass. Yeah, whole spot. Very hard to pass though here. I mean, you would like to think that these guys, I mean, being smaller cars, you know, they can use multiple lanes, but really, it seems like only one lane's really working. I mean, you get caught up on that outside, Chris, you're just going to kind of fall behind, especially with everybody working on that inside.
Cade Green in the 19, running 19th position. Zach Coyer had fallen all the way back to 20th spot, and there he sits. The 39, Alex Papini, sitting in 21st position. Then it's 96 of Al Smith Jr. running 22nd. James Sonke right behind him in the 1 car. Jim McIntyre Jr. sitting in 24th position. Mark Farber in 25th. Then it's Hilton Young running in 26th position. Roger Holtzclaw rounding out the field, and his number 23 back up front. Not much has changed. It's Nolan Hacker Spinks. Well, I guess that has changed. Hacker up to second. So Hacker is finding some speed here tonight.
Yeah, Hacker was able to get around Spinks there, so Spinks falls down. Now he's got Chris Stump kind of knocking at the back door there. Stump, you know, he's been looking there a little bit. Now, I did get a little bit of word from Andy. He's actually having technical difficulties with his computer, not able to talk on TeamSpeak and a few other things going on. So that is the reason why Andy Lambert not out on track tonight.
Yeah, I hope that's all situated pretty soon.
Well, the good news is after tonight we have we're free from broadcasting until Monday.
Oh yeah.
So I offered to if I needed to go over and look at things over. I mean, you know how you and I are kind of computer literate, and I'm wondering if it might have been a Windows update.
Well, I was able to talk to Andy at the beginning during practice, so I'm not sure. Something happened after the fact, it must be, but now the 87 up front. It's Ryan Nolan, Brian Hacker sitting right behind him, and he is right on the back bumper of the 87. So Hacker right there, continuing with the momentum from last week. .35, Matthew Spink sitting in 3rd spot, really sailing the rear end of that one out. Has some damage to the right front. And so does Chris Stump right behind him in the 98. Wall reached out and grabbed 3rd place and 4th place drivers, Spinks and Stump. Matt Vade sitting in 5th spot. AJ Hamill has moved up into 6th position. So Hamill starting to get a roll. Dylan Blankenship in 7th. Troy Radford has moved to the 8th position. And it's Justin McDuff and Aaron Tyner rounding out the top 10. Tyner may be under the gun here from Rigsby. Rigsby looking to climb into the top 10 in his number 99. He's being followed by Rex Hoyle in the 54. And Rigsby now in the top 10. Very different race than we saw last week, Rick. A couple accidents early on in the race last week. So far, lap number 19, and it's looking good out there. All 27 drivers who started this one still out on track. I want to go ahead and thank everybody for tuning in. You're watching the Racing for a Cause Super Late Model West Coast Edition right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We appreciate you taking some time out of your Wednesday night for some short track action. Tonight, we're running the Milwaukee Mile for 50 miles. And we've already completed 20 of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's going by really quick. I mean, we're almost at the halfway point here, Chris. And right now, Ryan Nolan just dominating out there. He's got Brian Hacker there looking ever so slightly every now and then, kind of trying to figure out a way to get around Nolan. But Hacker sitting in 2nd, Matthew Spinks in 3rd, Chris Stump 4th, rounding out the top 5, Matt Vade. Then we got AJ Hamill in the 18 sitting there in 6th, Dylan Blankenship in 7th, Troy Radford in 8th, Justin McDuff in 9th, and Justin Rigsby rounding out that top 10.
Chris Stump sitting in 4th spot. In his number 98. And for a long time, there was the top 5 drivers that were kind of separating. AJ Hamill has brought the rest of the pack to the back door of the 8, and the 8 starting to fall back a little bit. That's Matt Vade. Big trick here. Do not burn off the tires in the first half of the race, because it'll get you on the second half. Linda's out there saying, hey, I get over losing last night. AJ Hamill. He's had a really good first half of this season so far. The West Coast treating Hamill very well. Again, coming into tonight as your points leader. 1 point ahead of Chris Stump, who's sitting 2 positions ahead of him. If the race were to end right now, that'd be trouble for AJ Hamill, as we are under caution for the first time tonight. It looks like the 15 of Coyer and the 9 of Jamie Christensen will go back and take a peek. The 9 of Christensen to the inside, Coyer to the outside. Christensen gets into the rear of the 15, and they both go into the wall. And Coyer rights the ship and heads back on the track, but not before a little damage done to his number 15. As Jamie Christensen let it float just a little too much into that corner.
Not bad, though, halfway through the race before the first caution. I mean, obviously the tires are really worn.
Yeah, absolutely. And Linda, we're happy Katie's associated with RFC as well. A lot for that same reason.
Yeah, exactly. Katie was one of those, I mean, no matter where I go, especially when I'm broadcasting, I mean, Chris can attest to this. You know, I like to find those young drivers that come out here. You know, they're racing with the quote-unquote big boys. And, you know, Katie was one of those special ones that, you know, came in, he very mature, very respectful on the track, learned a lot, and he's just growing leaps and bounds since the first time we saw him race with us, and just amazing to see. Great kid. Very happy to get to know him. And you, of course, Linda. You're always out there, chat. I know that. Been there since the beginning, and that's just amazing. Really hit the nail on the head. You know, Racing for a Cause, when Chris and I started it, we didn't want it to be just another league. We wanted it to be special, bringing the causes out, but we also wanted to have a good group of guys that, you know, weren't just, I mean, Chris and I, we're gamers. So, you know, and we were part of a really cool clan that it wasn't just a gaming thing. You know, we all became friends and brothers and, you know, a second family, and that's exactly what Racing for a Cause became. So that's just the coolest part of it. Really great to see, because that doesn't happen a lot anymore.
Cars are lined up 2 by 2. Pace car lights are off. Rick, that Porsche getting set to lead these guys through 3 and 4 and then drop on to pit road. It's the 87 of Ryan Nolan on his outside. Brian Hacker, Matthew Spinks inside second row. And Chris Stump trapped on the outside of that second row. Row number 3 made up of Matt Vade and AJ Hamill. As we get ready to go back under the green flag, quick caution here in the Milwaukee Mile. That big left-hand turn about to happen. And now we wait for them to go green. Green flag in the air. Ryan Nolan with a little bit of a wheel spin there. Big time wheel spin out of the 87 machine, and that could be all Hacker needed. If he's able to hold momentum. Oh, big spin, or not spin, oh my goodness. Oh, I thought he was going around.
Oh, me too, man. Wow.
Oh, Hacker taking advantage of that start. Able to get around the 87, the 35 right on the back bumper. Here comes Matt Vade. Vade battling it out with the 98 of Chris Stump. At the line, Stump had it, but Vade has that inside line, and here comes AJ Hamill. Hamill down to the inside of the 98. We were just talking about the points implications. If Stump were able to finish ahead by 2 points, he would have taken the lead. Now, those two drivers, if this race finished right now, tied.
Yeah, it's just amazing, man. I mean, there's still a lot of racing left to go. They got 22 laps, but...
Spinks. Spinks gets loose coming out of 4, but able to hold on to position. Matt Vade tightens it up just a little bit, but Spinks was able to get that thing back under control and hold his line, so should be able to hold on to third spot, the 35. Oh, holding my breath right now. Didn't really want to see that caution. Would rather have seen him go green all the way through. Caution right here with the way these tires are acting on this track. Not something I was looking forward to seeing, but they are making it work.
Well, you know, one of the cool things too is, you know, I kind of agree with Andy. You know, on the local stuff, you don't really get to go into a pit and get fresh tires. I mean, unless you wreck out, you know, then you guys will go down to the pits, you know. And Andy kind of modeled this towards that Saturday night, or for us, you know, that Thursday night local track feel. And so these guys, they have their hands full. I mean, right now, that track temperature, 106 degrees, the tires are gone. You know, there's not much tire left. They're just running on wicked slicks right now, and these guys, they have their hands full right now, Chris, and you know, a lot of them, they're doing a great job. I mean, they have only one caution. Got 19 laps left to go already. And Hacker's looking really good out there in the front. Ryan Nolan right there in second. He's not far behind, man. He's just waiting for a slip up. That's all he's waiting for. Thinks he's drag racing and drifting through the corners now. He's having a good time. Ryan Hacker.
Rear tires on the 35, just about gone.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything left.
In fact, it looks like Matt Vade may be trying to take advantage of that fact, Rick, as he drops down to the inside. Not able to get position going into turn 3, but about halfway through the corner, Vade now does have position. He's bringing Chris Stump along for the ride.
Yeah, Spink's kind of in trouble right now, Chris. Kind of stuck on that outside lane. I mean, yeah, okay, you could probably pass there, but, you know, maybe with fresh tires, but not right now. And there's just no way. I mean, Nate gets around him, Stump's right there. And look who Stump's bringing with him. AJ Hamill out there in the 18. I mean, poor Spinks, he's just kind of stuck there. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, not enough separation between the 98 and the 18 to kind of sneak back in. So AJ Hamill now on the inside of the 35. Matt Spinks going backwards. Has to find a way back in.
Yeah, and the only place, you know, and that door's closing really quick too with Dylan Blankenship right there. Spinks got to kind of just drop down. There we go. That's exactly what I was saying. Wanting to say. I couldn't think of it quick enough though.
So Spinks drops from third all the way back to sixth, and now the 51 comes underneath. Dylan Blankenship putting on a challenge. And this could be really, really bad for the 35 as he is stuck to the outside, and there is a train of cars on the inside looking to try and take advantage. Dylan Blankenship takes advantage. Here comes the 20 of McDuff. He's got it peeking down. Spinks closes the door. Can he hold it down? That's the question. This time he does. He holds it down. Spinks back to 7th spot. Comes off sideways, off from 4 again, pushing really hard as the 35. And that might be more detrimental at this point than just trying to coast it through. But the 35 holding on to position. Third place, all the way back to 8th. So it's going to be Hacker, Nolan, Vade, your top 3. Chris Stump right there in 4th. AJ Hamill rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, I'm just picturing like what it's like in the household of Matt Spinks right now, man. You know, Matt Spinks is a really cool dude. We got to talk to him a few times there last season. Great guy. He actually sponsored the Attitude Graphics last week, I believe that was. And just an awesome dude. You know, he's got this great big beard, you know. And I know he's probably a little frustrated about falling back from 2nd. But the way that he's sliding that number 35 around, dude, I bet you he has that Dale Earnhardt grin right now. I guarantee it. He's like, oh, yeah, man, you guys can go. But you know what? He's out there just having a good time, man.
Well, he was right up until the 20, able to get back underneath him. Justin McDuff is there for position, looking to try and take it away, and Troy Radford going to try and capitalize as he's trying to keep that 94 down low. The 35 trying to hold on once again. Under attack is Matthew Spinks. The 20 of McDuff able to get around, and he brought the 94 along for the ride. And look at behind Radford, it's the 54, Rex Hoyle, trying to close the gap and take away position from the 35 yet again.
Yeah, Spinks just not having the luck of the draw at all, man. Just stuck on that outside. The car's just not doing what he wants to do. And oh, burner caution. 11 laps left to go. And it might have been the 23. Roger Holtzclaw.
Yeah, Holtzclaw just correcting it now. We'll go back, take a peek.
Oh man, what a good job by Doug Wysocki there.
It's 1-3 to the inside of Coyer. Wysocki. Ooh. Takes it down a little low. May have been a little too low. Gets into the corner of the 23. And then peels it to a stop. So caution on the track one more time for your race leader, the number 11 of Brian Hacker. We're less than 10 miles away from finishing this one. Brian Hacker, your race leader. Ryan Nolan, Matt Vade, Chris Stump, your top 4. Dylan Blankenship. Actually, excuse me, AJ Hamill rounding out that top 5. Then it's Dylan Blankenship, Justin McDuff, and Troy Radford. Matthew Spinks has fallen all the way back to 9th position. I'm going to be honest with you right now. At least he's to the inside on this restart. He might be able to gather up a spot, maybe 2. Having to try and restart again, this is going to get wild. The tires are definitely gone on these cars. Track temperature deep into the race, still at a 107 degree temperature.
Yeah, it just went up again by another 2 degrees, Chris. It was at 105 there before the caution. These tires, they're just abused, man. There ain't going to be much left. You know, usually you watch a NASCAR race when the guys come in, they change their tires. The pit crew takes them out, throws them behind the wall, and you got a guy out there with a little blowtorch, and he's scraping off all the goodness off there. Well, you know, if they do that here tonight after these cars get done, he's going to hit rim.
Yeah, no kidding. Not a lot to scrape off there.
No. He'll get a couple marbles off from it, and that's about it. And then he'll just be, ping. What's that? Oh, that's the rim.
Well, pace car lights still on, coming through turns 3 and 4. Should shut off this time by. And we should go back to green with 6 laps to go. And this one may not be decided yet. Brian Hacker going to be looking to have the restart of his life as the pace car lights are off. Some of these guys trying to warm up the tires. You saw Matt Pate actually almost go sideways. Just kind of proving the point. Not a lot of tire left on these things. Nothing in the way of grip. This restart going to get interesting. How quickly will Hacker get on the gas? Will he spin his tires? Will the 87 spin his tires? We're going to find out. As we're getting set to go back to the green flag. Pace car taking that hard left-hand turn. And we go back under the green flag. It's a drag race to turn 1. Hacker with a great restart. Holding on to the race lead, the 87 of Ryan Nolan trying desperately anything to try and get in line so he can kind of prevent any loss of position. And that may not be in the cards as the 87 stuck to the outside. Here comes Chris Stump to the inside. Stump over under caution once again.
Ooh, the 99, a bunch of cars there in the back. Oh, man. This would be the big one.
Well, we'll key in on the 99 and go back and take a peek.
99, 85, there's a lot of numbers. You can watch that one.
99 gets in the back of the 54. He slows up. Then yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess. And Rigsby taking the big shot. A little chain reaction there. We find ourselves under caution. This has been a great race, Rick. You're absolutely right. In chat, Rick is talking to me. You asked for a great race. And these guys are definitely putting it on. Milwaukee Mile putting on a great show. A birthday show.
Can't wait until tomorrow. I'm one of those guys, folks, you know, it's just another day to me. You know, once you hit that age, you're just like, I want to stay in bed, shut the phone off, and lock the door. But I appreciate all the love, guys. I really do. I mean, it's been an outstanding day. My wife surprised us with a nice carrot cake that one of my coworkers decided to dig into while I was gone working. I love it. I'm so blessed, Chris. I mean, honestly, I mean, I know you don't like hearing it, man, but thank you for the opportunity that you gave me. I mean, my life, I can't get any better right now. I mean, there's just nothing that I can think of to make my life even better. I got a great family, great wife, great kids, great friends, coworkers.
It's all about having a little bit of fun and balance in your life, man. That's all.
You're gonna make me cry.
You got a fabulous air chuck for your birthday. That was pretty sweet.
Yes, I really do appreciate that too. You didn't have to do that.
No, I kind of have this belief. If you have a happy crew, you're going to have happy customers.
Well, let me tell you, them budget truck customers now, they all are going to have the most perfect, like, out of everybody there. So, Carl, if you ever listen to this, you know, folks, you guys don't know who Carl is, but Chris and I do. If you ever watch this, I can tell you right now, Priority Auto Team, we're taking care of the budget truck customers.
They have the proper air pressure.
That's right. 1 PSI at a time, folks.
You got to make sure they're handling right, you know?
That's right. You know, I can't stop the transmissions from blowing. No. But damn it, the tires are going to be properly PSI'd from now on.
Properly inflated, ready to roll.
That's right.
Speaking of ready to roll, Rick, hang on.
This is going to be good, man.
This is
going to be a shootout.
This is a birthday present.
Yeah, it is.
Because we're going to take the green. We're going to have a 1 lap shootout. Holy cow. This is going to get wild. We're going to try and make sure we capture the action. Going to probably miss it. But we know it's coming.
Such a huge field, man. 27 cars out here tonight. Everybody's still on track but poor Andy, who's having some issues.
Pace car on pit road. We get it rolling one more time. For the last time here from Racing for a Cause. It's a green-white start to this one. Hacker holding on to the race lead, the 87, pushing hard, trying to take second back from Vade. Down the backstretch. This one's going to get wild.
Holy, look at all the cars, Chris. That is just beautiful, man. I don't know what camera view you're using, but just look at them.
Oh, baby. Here comes Brian Hacker looking to try. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening right now. And so is the race finish. It's going to be Hacker, Nolan, and Vade, your top three. AJ Hamill, Dylan Blankenship rounding out the top five. Chris Stump ends out of the top five in sixth position.
You got to go back and look at that that crash, though. Holy cow.
We're on it. We're watching it. Oh, it happened a little bit ahead of where I was.
A little bit, yeah. That's okay, though.
Man,
wow.
The 77, the 94, the 15, the 43, the 22.
Huge.
The 81. The 1 ends up on his roof. That said, the 11.
He's burning it down, too. Whatever little bit of tire he has left, he is leaving it at the Milwaukee Mile.
I love it. What a great race.
That was awesome.
Rick, normally we would take a timeout, but you know what? I want to get right into this thing tonight.
I'm looking here. This is a big list, so you got to bear with me here.
Oh, yeah.
So third place, Matt Vade. He's coming up.
Matt Vade, Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Gotta unmute your mic, brother.
Driver of the number 8, Matt Vade. Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
All right, we can give him a few minutes. I'm gonna move him back down.
Oh, how we doing, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, bud.
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Doing great. Hey, man. Congratulations. Third place finish. A good run out of you tonight.
Yeah, it's nice to finally have a good run. I've off to a rough start.
Yeah, we've been noticing, after having such a good run last season, But the 8 seems to be back on track at least a little bit here because a third place finish tonight, man. Good job.
Thank you. It was nice to get a good run here at Milwaukee, being home state track, so it's kind of fun. I usually don't run very well here, so it's kind of nice to have a good run.
Yeah, well,
I thought I was going to have a shot at him if it stayed green. I really wanted it to stay green there. Those last couple restarts, I think, played into Brian's hand. But
well, it was a lot of fun to watch. And, of course, that third place finish, that's got to boost the confidence a little bit. The West Coast probably out of the picture at this point, but East Coast coming in just a few weeks.
yeah, it's good to build a little momentum. It was nice to run up front with those guys again. Brian and Ryan did a really good job up front. I really appreciate running with those guys. They're really clean all the time. You can maybe give a little bit more than you would in other areas of the field. So, like I said, it's just off to a rough start, but we got up front tonight and were able to stay up there and pick a couple guys off. And I really wanted it to stay green, but maybe next week.
Awesome.
Thanks DV8 Bowling, All Star Racing, Pathfinder Chassis, Gorilla Movers of Wisconsin, and Integrity Farms. It was a good night.
I
Well,
love Integrity Farms, baby.
yeah, you took away my thunder a little bit, but good job on thanking everybody. And, hey, congratulations once again, bringing it home in third tonight.
Now, wait, before we move him down, Matt, how do you pronounce your last name again?
Vadi.
Body. Okay,
Body.
so we were right.
Kinda,
Kinda.
depending on which
I-
time.
I knew
Vadi.
you guys. I knew you guys would get it. You guys are good.
We try. Well, congratulations, brother.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Congrats, Brian. He ran a great race.
All right. Matt Vadi coming home in third place tonight, and that's going to leave us with second place finisher Ryan Nolan. And he is the driver of the number 87. Ryan, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, bud. A hell of a race for you tonight. But at the end of it all, couldn't quite hold on to that race lead because of the restart. Looked like you had a little bit of a slip there. Is that the case?
Yeah, I just had a hard time timing the green at this track as soon as the pace car pulls off. They throw the green, I just kind of missed it on that one. It's unfortunate because I think we had probably one of the fastest cars. Yeah, I definitely didn't want to see the yellows because I think we could have got around it if we had enough time. But it was a fun race. Everyone raced clean at least where we were, and yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. Good action up front here tonight. And good to see a fellow Vermonter, although I don't even know if are you in Vermont now, or I don't know where you are.
Well, as of 2 months ago, we moved back down to Kentucky. I am always a Vermonter, though, so
That's
don't
true.
forget
Once a Vermonter, always a Vermonter. I know, I get it. But, hey, congratulations once again on finishing second. Anybody on the 87 that you need to thank tonight, bud?
Yeah, like usual, got to thank my wife, my 2 cats, my parents watching, and you guys for broadcasting. Happy birthday, Rick.
Thanks,
and,
buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Driver of the number 87, Ryan Nolan, finishing second spot tonight. Congratulations once again. And that leaves us with just one other guy to talk to. It is the race winner tonight, the driver of the number 11. It's Brian Hacker. Brian, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Sure do, guys. How you doing?
Doing good, bud. And guess what? So are you, man. Back-to-back weeks, you get to talk to us. Back-to-back weeks, we get to talk to you. Congratulations on the win tonight, bud.
Thanks, man. It was a fun race. I'm sure you guys could tell it's a pretty slick track, so patience was kind of the key, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to get Nolan, and luckily that restart, I was able to, I think, get a little cleaner start and didn't spin my tires, and that was the end of it. But those guys right behind me were fast. There was no getting away from them.
Well, yeah, we saw that through most of the night. It looked like whoever was in first place, second place was right behind him through most of the night. And that, when you were chasing down Ryan and when Ryan was chasing down you guys were locked bumpers practically throughout the entire night. And certainly that makes you kind of keep the attention right where it needs to be, right on the track.
Yeah, for sure. It was a blast up front. I know there was some stuff going on in the back towards the end of it, but the top 5 for sure. Specifically the top 3. We were running hard and we were running clean. So it was a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch too, Brian. Anybody on the 11 you need to thank, bud?
Yeah, it's nice to be able to talk to you guys again. Get Beetle Freedom Project some recognition. It's cool to have them on the car. Smith Racing Incorporated. I know Andy was having some issues tonight, so there's some guys that jumped in and kind of filled in the gap. So, kudos to them. Kudos to Andy for putting this thing on. Tune into Upstate Racing League. I know Turn 3 will be doing that here pretty soon. We'll be starting that up at the beginning of November. Looking forward to that. And last but not least, happy birthday, Rick.
Thanks, brother.
Awesome. Brian, congratulations once again, bud, bringing that thing home in first place tonight.
Thanks, guys.
And that is going to do it right here on a Wednesday night. I want to thank everybody for coming on out to Rick's birthday. To Racing for a Cause. It's been a really special night, man, and we can't thank you enough for being out there. Rick, was that everything you wanted for your birthday, brother?
The only thing that made it better is if we did what I talked about today at work and, hopped into a car. But these guys did a fabulous job. I would have been right there with Andy. I would have been out of it. But these guys put on one heck of a show, man. It was great. I want to thank everybody again for all the birthday wishes, and it really means a lot to me. And, congrats to Brian Hacker. Man, he put some work in. He started 9th tonight and, just picked his way through the field and did a fabulous job. Now he's doing a little Polish victory lap out there. And it was just a great race.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I want to thank everybody once again for coming on out to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tune in every single night. We got something going on. Well, I'm pretty sure we are every single night at this point. And Upstate Racing coming up very soon, as Brian said, back up in November. Watch for KR to be taking that helm, as well as Tuesday night RFC. We're kind of done for the week, Rick. I don't know what to say about that, except for good night, everybody.
All right, good night, all.
It's your birthday today, Rick. It's your birthday today, Rick. Rock and roll and celebrate. Celebrate, we will. Lose control and you cut the cake. The night is yours. Destiny awaits. Oh, wait with me. So share toast with your closest mates. It's your birthday today, Rick. It's your birthday today, Rick. Grab your goodie bags. Open your gifts. Blow out your candles.
Yeah.